Could the savior of the Dallas Cowboys be an old-school coach who wants everything to go his way? Hello Cowboy Nation, behind the scenes in Dallas are still very busy and we have already learned all the news about the Cowboy team. Now we will bring you everything in full. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like so you don't miss any news about the Dallas Cowboys. Mike Zimmer doesn't consider himself a savior, or even the prodigal son who returns home to save his family. But there's no other way to look at it after an offseason in which the Dallas Cowboys did next to nothing to improve their roster, acquiring just one solid starter, cornerback Eric Kendricks in free agency, and are entering a season in which the future team is at risk and the franchise is at risk. Coach Mike McCarthy still has 1 year left on his contract and needs to go far in the playoffs to keep his job. Quarterback Dak Prescott, coming off the best season of his career, faces the prospect of proving himself in the postseason and renewing his contract. And what everyone is counting on to make the biggest difference for a team that finished its third consecutive 12-5 season with a surprise playoff loss is the addition of Zimmer as defensive coordinator, replacing the departed Dan Quinn. The Cowboys are counting on defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer to make a difference in 2024. Clarence Hill Star-Telegram Zimmer was an assistant coach in Dallas from 1994 to 2006, including the last 7 seasons as defensive coordinator. He has a tough, punishing discipline specialist and a much-needed plan that will focus on stopping the run, fundamentals, and accountability. I think first and foremost his whole life revolved around football, said owner Jerry Jones. You said it best, Dan is also a football player. I would have to look for personality. They are exceptional people and coaches, both went through many professional problems and live to talk about them. Who would you like to be in the trenches with? We both do. They do it in a different way. Damn, is he straight? From Jones' perspective, the Cowboys, who are in their 29th season since their last Super Bowl appearance, continue to struggle with postseason and franchise highlights, requiring Zimmer to take a no-nonsense approach. I think we all need this, Jones said. By all accounts, Quinn had success in Dallas before being hired as head coach of the Washington Commanders. The Cowboys were a top 5 defense in 2023, ranking 5th in yards and 5th in points allowed. During his tenure in Dallas from 2021 to 2023, the team led the NFL in quarterback pressures, 41.4%, interceptions, 59, receptions, 93, and defensive touchdowns, 15. However, Quinn's unit consistently struggled to stop the run and was exposed following the Cowboys' 48-32 wild-card loss to the Green Bay Packers when the Cowboys were unable to stop a nosebleed. Quarterback Jordan Love completed 16 of 21 passes for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running back Aaron Jones destroyed the Cowboys' defense with 21 carries for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's like I told the defense the first day I got here, Zimmer said. For me it is something different. Normally when I enter the field the defense is not good. And they are very good. We have to improve some of the things they did well and try to improve the things that weren't so good. They played very well most of the time and we will try to accentuate that and maybe play more technically and maybe be a little more disciplined. Ultimately, we have to do it the way I want it. I know that when you try to do something for someone else, it just doesn't work out. First, let's focus on stopping the run. He plans to play more in first and second down scenarios, playing with 3 linebackers, Vice President Stephen Jones said. This is a change. Overall, I know he's big and great at stopping the run. Not that Dan Quinn hasn't done that too. Everyone wants to stop the race. But you know, in terms of prioritizing and doing things that give you a chance to achieve what you want to be as a defensive unit, the focus on stopping the run starts at the top. Coaches will ask their defensive linemen to hold blockers instead of running to the quarterback, a stark contrast to Quinn's scheme. That should leave 2023 first-round pick Mazi Smith out of control after a disappointing rookie season in which he recorded just 13 tackles, made just 3 starts and lost more than 30 pounds in an attempt to do something he didn't do. Suit his skill set. To determine. Obviously it was an important choice, Zimmer said. I heard he had problems last year, so let's start with the basics, get him in good posture, teach him to use his hands correctly, teach him to use his feet correctly, and that's it. Most importantly, Zimmer will emphasize fundamentals and hold himself accountable. The defense may not have as many turnovers as it did against Quinn, but it will be fundamentally reasonable. Of course, smart players are always the best, Zimmer said. I always say, do your job so someone else can be successful doing theirs. You might have to sit there and face a double team. It's not fun, but you're doing it so the other guy can attack. These are the things we emphasize. Playing well on team defense and obviously everything else, being very good on third downs, good at stopping the run and good at staying in the red zone. When they get on the field they know what they're doing, they go out and make plays and they don't run the risk of putting anyone in a bad situation. Penalties and undisciplined play will not be tolerated. I don't like mistakes, but these guys have been good so far, Zimmer said. There are different ways to do this. You can yell at them, you can put your arm around them, you can pat them on the butt, whatever. Every guy will be a little different. Let's see how this happens. Zimmer will still be old school Zimmer. And he will have to pay a lot during the matches because he will be on the bench and not on the bench. Well, I was always on the sidelines, number 1, Zimmer said. Number 2, I want to catch them when they leave so I can talk to them. If changes need to be made, I want to be able to talk to them and review them. I often tell them that if they make a mistake, they should take a different path and not ignore me. In this case I agree with Zimmer, I think he's right. What do you think about that? If you liked the video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more updates from your team. Thank you, see you soon.